In this exercise we're going to look at lunging our horses or driving our horses in a circle. I'm going to talk about some of the different elements to that. In this driving exercise we do it in 4 parts. What I want him to do is I want him to step his shoulder away from me and back onto the circle. Then I would like for him to come forwards and around me. Then I'm going to ask him to yield his hindquarters and reach back. And we're going to talk about those 4 different parts. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is ask him to move his shoulder back onto the circle. Now when I do this, what I imagine is that I'm stood on the apex of a V, or an arrowhead if you like. Okay, so I've got a line going out this way, and I've got a line going out that way, something like this, with my horse stood in the middle. And I'm going to arrange my lead rope, so I've got the tail of my lead rope in my right hand, and the other part here connected to his halter in my left hand. I'm going to do this in 3 parts. So I'm going to point to direct his nose, I'm going to walk, and I'm going to drive with my lead rope all at the same time, so that he steps that shoulder out onto the circle. Okay? And all I need him to do at this stage is just walk, and I'd like for him to continue walking forwards on the circle. Now the key thing here really to maintain that forward motion is that I'm directing and giving him somewhere to go with my left hand, and I'm using my right hand kind of like an accelerator pedal. So if I need to get him to move a little bit faster, I direct him with my left hand and just drive him with my right hand. The other thing is that when I'm watching him, I've got my eyes on where his girth would be, just behind that shoulder. Okay? If I get my head in front of him here, that's going to slow him down and maybe even stop him. If I get my head behind him too much, that's going to cause him to disengage those hindquarters. So I'm going to focus here, keeping my shoulders on that girth area and driving him forward. I'm going to tip his nose, yield his hindquarters over, and ask him to back up. Once we've mastered that, the next step is going to be, we're going to look for to establish an ability to change direction. So we start in exactly the same way. I point, walk, drive that shoulder onto the circle. I let him come round me there at the walk. And now the difference is, I'm going to change my hands over, I'm going to yield those hindquarters, and then I'm going to immediately ask him to bring that shoulder back in the other direction. So now we've got our horses to a point where we could get them to circle and drive around us in the walk in both directions with a directional change. It's time to put that to the test. In this exercise, I've got these 2 cones 5 meters apart, and standing in the middle here, I'm going to see if I can get him to go back, move him out onto the circle, walk a circle one way, change direction, walk a circle the other way, roll his hindquarters and back up. Let's give that a go.